Okay, so this is for a friend of mine who wants to know how we can play around with pictures inside a PowerPoint presentation. Here I've made a very basic template. It's got a white background. I've added the first slide. I went to Insert, New Slide, clicked on our trusty bullet point friend, and up comes the second page. So I'm going to go to Google Images. I'm going to choose this Teletubby picture here for no particular reason whatsoever. And go in, I right click, I choose copy. There it is on my clipboard, not that I can see it, but as soon as I come in here, right click, paste, up it appears. I can do all the usual things. I can click on it once, drag out the corners to make it a bit bigger, drag the corners to make it a bit smaller. If I undo both those, here we are back to the original. You'll notice here I have a picture toolbar. Now sometimes that can be hiding up here and you might not notice it. Most times where we're wanting it is down, I'll just drag it back down again, whoops, grab it here, sorry. Down here where we can actually use the thing. It will let us do things like crop a picture. For example, I might only want just our Teletubby friend here. If I crop that, there it is. If I click outside, perfectly happy I can move it around. If I don't want to do that, undo. Another thing I can do is say, well, I want to get it away from that text. The most easiest thing by far is to right click, order, send to the back. There it is behind my text. I can now drag it around, pop it up into the corner here, get this out the way, and it's actually looking pretty good. If I wanted to rotate it a little bit for some reason, that looks hideous. That looks hideous too. Undo both times. There we are. I'm happy with that. That's a good enough place to start. Now if we go down to the other text, what I might be wanting to do to highlight this is to perhaps add a cartoon that has a little bit of motion with it. Let's get away from this one. Go back to perhaps this cartoon here. Let's click on her, right click, copy, move back to my presentation, right click, paste. Once again I've got the issue of her going over the words. I can do the same thing, right click, order, send to back, and she'll be behind my text. Trouble is, it seems as though I can't read the text. Let's have a quick look and see what that would be like. That would be difficult. Escape again, back to the place where we can edit it. There's a couple of things I can do. One, I can choose to shrink it right down and perhaps have it coming off some of the words. So obviously she's going the wrong way. The real trick, an easy way to do that is just drag it all the way across to the side, having dragged that middle bit. Look at that, by magic she's coming the other way. Let's drag her up here. We could angle her a little bit by turning the green line. Whoops, this is a trick for young players. You can end up picking up some of the other text boxes and things. Sometimes what you've got to do is drag it out of the way, get your text, get your image to where it needs to be, drag it back up again. Watch this, because if you've got a whole lot of other presentations, it can in fact mean that all your other things are out of the way as well. Oh, I've done it tricky there. There we go, I've got it. Let's drag it out to here. And there she is skipping off the side of the words. That could look pretty effective. Or you might want to put it right behind the text. Each of these are text boxes. They're objects. I can right click this and order it the same as I can order a picture. So if I go here now and let's straighten her up again. Let's say, no, in actual fact I'd like to set her in the background. I think that's quite straight. If I hold shift, that'll click it into more set things. You get more fluidity if you're not holding shift down. So let's leave it at that. Right, grabbing the corner, drag it out so it's full size. And again, we've talked about how I couldn't see the text. The really cool thing is if you right click here and click on format picture, there are some set options. A classic one for putting behind text is washout. If I preview that, you can see that she's washed right out. Let's choose that. We'll stick with that. If I go looking at that now as a screen share, you can see that it's very easy to read the text, and yet you've got all that interest of the picture coming through as well. If I escape out of it again, here's my work area. I might decide that I'm going to keep that same background image for all the rest of the slides. Trick for young players, right click over here and copy that slide and then paste. So I've got an identical slide. They look exactly the same, except now I can change my headings, even more info, and add some more things in here. And there, in a very simple way, we would have a slideshow with a little bit of interest that you've skillfully made. Hope you've enjoyed it.